So in this video we're going to be going over the pencil for you with 3 different variations, and we'll explain the different variations as we go along. Alright, so as you begin, obviously you have to be in a certain stance. Ladies, you'll be seated on the ground with your legs close to your backside. That way you can actually jump easier. Gentlemen, you have to squat down and make sure that you're low enough that you can grab the lady's hands. And I prefer to be low enough to where my arms are more or less around 90 degrees, just because it makes it easier when you have to lift up. Also, there's 2 different variations you can do. Actually, there's several variations with hands. For gentlemen, my preference is to have my thumbs up and my fingers out to the sides so the lady can grab over the top of my palms. That way I can actually lift up a little easier. There's another variation where you actually cross left over right or right over left and then lift her up that way. That way it works too. If you're going across, then you're more like grabbing the thumbs, more like a bro grip, and that's how you do that part. Alright, so now the part where you're actually lifting. So here, it's not just the gentleman lifting, the lady actually lifts too. So gentlemen, you're jumping up and you're pulling up with your hands, going straight up in the air with your arms. I tend to jump back a little bit, which depending on your partner, that could be good, could not be, it depends on the partner. Sometimes you jump straight up, sometimes you'll jump back a little bit, but your hands go straight up over your heads. Don't let them go forward or backward, otherwise you're not going to catch the girl. And then ladies, as you're jumping, you're actually pulling on the guy's arms to help yourself get up. So as you jump, you're pulling at the same time. That's actually going to help you get higher and make it easier for you to get in the right spot. So he can actually catch you at the right spot. Alright, so this is variation 1. This is the most simple version. It is what you would start out with if you have not done this before, to make sure that you have your balance. Now to do this, and actually in all of these different variations, the best place to catch the girl is going to be just below the knee. You don't want to be hugging the knee, and be careful when you do catch the girl, gentlemen, because you don't want to shift her knee cap one side or the other. So when you grab on and you're pulling into yourself, it's straight into you, not off to one side or the other. And again, the best place to catch is about right below the knee. That's where I prefer to catch. Sometimes you do end up a little bit above it, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're trying to catch the right spot. Ladies, as you are jumping up and the guy's catching you, please do not bring your knees forward. Essentially what you're doing at that point, if you bring your knees forward, is a flying knee drive right into the guy's chest or his chin. And that doesn't feel good, so don't do that. Make sure when you jump you keep your legs straight. That way we can actually catch you easier and you don't end up throwing your knee into us. Alright, so here both of you are straight up and down, arms are up, and it's the best and easiest version if you haven't done this one before. Alright, and this is variation 2. Obviously a little more complicated. Now, one thing to note, a warning, before you try this one, ladies, you do not bend backwards so far that you cannot get back up. If you do that, it's really hard for the gentleman to try and help you back up. He either has to fall backwards or do something weird to try and get you back up. So don't go so far back that you can't get back up. Maya, as you can see, is bent kind of in half, which is okay. She can actually get back up. Gentlemen, you actually help here by going into this squatted position, holding those legs into you, and what's going to happen is her shins and feet are going to be braced against your body, and that's what's keeping her up in the air and that balance. If that happens to slip out or up, or if you let your arms come forward, she is going to fall. So make sure you keep a tight grip, squeeze into you, let her legs brace against your body, and that'll keep her there. And then ladies, you're obviously in this back bend, leaning out. And then, again, just as far as you can. Don't go too far. Don't hurt yourself trying to do it. If you can't bend as far as you can, that's fine. But just understand that as you do this, you will be coming back up, and you're going to be doing a vertical sit-up to get back in the right spot. So make sure you have the core strength to do it. Alright, so this is variation 3. It requires a little bit more control than the other 2 variations, especially on the gentleman's part, because you have to make sure, gentlemen, that you're squatting down enough so that her hands touch the ground. Not her head, her hands. So if you're going to do this back walk over exit and you're letting her hands touch the ground, you continue to drop your entire body, continue to squat down until our hands gently touch the floor. If you go too fast, then our hands slam on the floor, and we don't want that, or our head hits the ground, which obviously isn't good either. So make sure that her hands gently touch the floor, and then that's where you stop your descent. And ladies, as you do this exit, you need to make sure that your hands are above your head so that your hands hit the floor first, not your head. Alright. Obviously, you need to keep your arms straight because essentially what you're going to do is part of a back walkover or a handstand. So make sure you do that. And gentlemen, you're continue to hold on to her legs every time you kind of squat down and get lower to the ground. Then to complete this back walkover exit, gentlemen, what you're doing is you have to release one arm first and then the other arm. So it's one arm first, then the other, and you actually have to move your body out of the way. So what I usually do is I'll keep one foot planted, and then I'll swing my other leg out around to the outside, which moves my body out of the way for her legs, so her legs can go up and over and make this nice arch over her body and her head. And then ladies, what you're doing is you're bringing your legs up, back over your head to where you're going to actually put them on the ground. So, and you'll see this in a little bit. So you have to bring your legs up and over. And gentlemen, you can help. As you can see, I have one arm with her leg. I'm actually going to help her here. As I rotate her around, I'm lifting that leg up and moving it forward. Don't throw it, just kind of gently nudge it up and over so that it helps the lady get over and through this back walkover. Then we're going to show you this back walkover exit one more time, full speed, so you can see what it looks like without interruption.